Good morning, Tommy D from Fabulous 103, behind the mic once again. Well, it may not be morning where you are, but it's morning here. We've been looking at questions that you've sent in, asking us different things, and one of the things that you've asked is, what is all this gear that's around us in this studio? So what I thought I'd do today is just have a wander around with the camera. To be fair, the sound quality is going to be crap because I'll be using the phone as opposed to this microphone and this lovely equipment. We'll have a wander around the studios. We'll go into the engine room next door. We'll look at the processors, see the other rooms. We'll nip downstairs and see what the midget's doing. And by the end of this little tour, as long as you haven't fallen asleep, you'll know exactly how we work at Fabulous 103 FM. Some of the stuff is really trendy, and some of it's getting on in years. Let's have a look around first of all. This computer here, we don't really have to worry about her too much. She is measuring and metering the output that goes from the studio up to the final processors up in the tower where the transformer is. Next to it though, we use Playout 1, and we've got these double screens. Now you notice there's two screens there on one screen. It's not a television, it's a double wide computer screen. Very, very easy to use. And the software that we use is absolutely amazing. It makes our lives a lot easier. Another part of that software there, that's where we turn them on and off, and we can see what's playing and making sure that the satellite clocks are all in line with each other. And here, well, we used to call these things carts. I don't know what you call them now. They're little jingles. You can have a jingle that says Fabulous 103, or you can have a jingle that says Tommy D is crap. It makes no difference whatsoever. As long as you've got them in there, then when you need them, you can just press a button and play them, or you can do this wonderful thing where, I don't know if I can do this at the same time, you see the mouse, I can pull that one there and drag it all the way over into this section here, so I can put it in between two songs. Sorry about that. When we talk live on the radio, it's very important. You can hear right now that the monitors, all these lovely speakers, give us a great sound in the studio. But when you're talking, obviously you don't want to hear that, because if you do, you'll get feedback and you'll get a whistle and God knows what else. So you'll see when if I press this button here, if I wanted to record, the minute I press the record button, that on-air light comes on and the sound is killed. That's all part of the desk system. And you're wondering about the desks, and I guess we should have a look at these now. These are Axia Telos desks. Now there's something rather special about them. Two of them, there you go, little keyboard in between. The secret of these, turning the volume down a bit, is that they are totally digital. This is a totally digital studio. Now the difference is, analog is where you've got wires, you've got pluses and minuses going to microphones and going to mixers, and most studios you'll see they've got loads of cables going in here and plugs going in and stuff like that. And these sliders, when you slide them, they are basically potentiometers. They're volume controls, and they get worn out, they get tired and everything else. This because it's digital, and I will look at the engine room in a minute, but this, because it's digital, if I open up the back, don't know if I can see this for you, but there you go. It's got a power supply, and somewhere you can see there, can you see it? Somewhere I could see them, maybe you can't see them, but this actually has no cables except a power supply and two Cat6 connections. There you go, they're in there. A bit like internet connections. That's all that goes to this computer. No sloppy wiring. Very, very handy. And that's just a part of what gives us a better output than the other radio stations that you tune into, even on the internet. Oh, you're looking at the photograph. That is my daughter when she was about 7. And that picture's been in every studio I ever work in. And sometimes when you're feeling a little bit, you want something to cheer yourself up, and I just look at that picture, look at that smile. She'll hate me for this, but I just smile at that picture every time I see it. Just puts me back in a better mood. That's the midget's perch over there. And these microphones, well, again, You really want the best quality for your radio. I want to have, when you tune in, that you can listen and it sounds fantastic. I'm going to take this microphone to pieces and show you in a minute. There you go. This is a Sennheiser. This is one of the, well, it actually is the very best microphone that you can possibly buy. You'll find some little stations will be using, and that's why we have a muffler on it to keep it clean, but you'll find some stations use cheap microphones and you can get away with it, but the sound quality is crap. And again, we want good quality when you're listening to Fabulous 103. So that's what the microphones are. The same with the headphones. When you look at these headphones, these are not the cheap ones that you go and buy for £1,000. In fact, they're so expensive. I didn't tell you. This microphone here, about $1,000. But these headphones here, they're top quality studio headphones. And they're so good that you can buy all the parts for them. If anything goes wrong with them, which they never do, you can just go and buy all the parts for it and keep them all up to date. Now, I made a mistake a long time ago of thinking that these were dirty, but they're not. That's how they come. And I put them in a washing machine, they fell to bits. You can just pull them off, you see, and clean them. So I just wrote to them, ordered new ones, and they arrived very, very quickly indeed. There you go. Anybody looking for decent headphones, those are the ones to buy, and that's the microphone to buy. So nipping off from the headphones, we've seen the mixers, we've discovered how the microphones work, and we've looked at most of the computers in here, the screens. There are no computers actually in this room. There's a reason for that. First of all, in Thailand it's very hot, and they need to be cooled. So we have we call it the engine room. There's 24-hour air conditioning in there. And secondly, of course, a computer makes a noise, which is the last thing you want in a studio. But we do have this computer. Now, this computer is the porn computer. Oh my God, it's porn. And the reason we call it the porn computer is it's a nickname that's been going with these computers for years. You always have a computer in a studio that's linked to the internet, but not into your network, which means that anybody can do what they want with it, and it's not going to screw up and up your own system. So the last thing you want is somebody picking up a virus in there because they've been watching something weird, and all of a sudden it gets passed into your network. So from here, let's go and have a look in the rest of the building. Now, this is the posh side. You'll find out why in a minute. But basically, we have BBC receivers there at the top. We have satellites on the roof for the BBC. And they come down and they're converted into sound by these satellite controllers. That's the BBC there. And so that you have the broadcast from the BBC. That there, this one here, is actually an amazing sound processor, but it's only used in the studio because we've got the latest version upstairs in our transmitter room. This version alone just is amazing, but the latest version, about $15,000, is just out of this world. And over here, at the front of the digital system that makes your sound what it is, as you can see, each part of that goes into the final box at the bottom, and together with an awful lot of software creates the sound that you hear. There you go, every technician's nightmare, somebody like me that has all these cables, and it does look spaghetti, doesn't it? It really does look like spaghetti. The only way I can make it work, and I'll be honest with you, is each cable, if I zoom in a bit, that yellow little tag on there has a number on it, and it has the same number at the other end of the cable, so I can chase it through. This is then our engine room. There are loads of units in here, basically all doing different jobs. This one brings you the BBC World Service, and that computer over there records 24/7, which is the law in Thailand most people forget about. This then, such as it is the first of our engine rooms. Used to be a very, very busy area, this, but now thanks to COVID, our staff cuts are huge. This is the hallway upstairs in the transmission area. I'll give you a quick flash. What have we got in here? This was our pre-record studio, still there but slightly in the dark, where we used to welcome guests and we could do interviews when somebody else was on air. And because we run a network and we have the option with the system that we use to duplicate its system, its screens, in different areas, this is where I spend most of my time. It's where we receive shows coming in, it's where we receive bulletins coming in, BBC content comes in, it's all processed, and then I can put it in here. And the software that we use allows us to, as I say, to duplicate it. It's basically a network. So I can be working on this screen, changing things, and it doesn't affect the person in the studio doing a radio show. As I said to you earlier on, all of us use the same headphones. There's a reason for that. They're the best. And that's the view from my window, such as it is. Now, we both know that I shouldn't be doing this, but we're going to sneak downstairs and we're going to see what the midget's up to. Ah, these were the days, the glory days. And here's the midget. Say good morning, midget. You're on my. This is. No, you can't do that.
Can we stop and let me put some makeup on?
No, I want people to see what you really look like. No. This is what the midget actually looks like. It's the same dress she was wearing yesterday.
It's not.
It is the same dress she was wearing yesterday. Look, hair stuck to her head. What are we working on? Oh, let's have a look. She actually does do work, which is amazing. Hang on a second.
Stop it! Go away!
This is what she's working on right now. What are you working on right now?
Well,
Hang on a second.
Decide, yeah, thumbnail for YouTube.
Pattaya bar boss reveals all. Does that mean he takes his clothes off?
Well, you'll have to watch and see.
That's that Brian Flowers, isn't it? I wouldn't mix with him, rough old boy.
No, I can't decide whether to have the black outline around you and him or none, because it kind of pops.
I don't like it. I like that one.
Like
no, I like it without. I like that one now.
Okay, that one it is then.
You need to do something to make me look handsome. Even more handsome than
right,
I actually are.
There is the clone tool. Shall I just like blur you out completely?
Can I tell you to f*** off? So, midget.
Yes.
Just look at this. So we've had a little tour upstairs, seeing how the radio works. Everybody wanted to know.
God, you filmed it yourself?
Yes.
That's going to be dire.
It's going to be. It's a real vlog. The camera goes up and down like this, sideways like this. The sound's probably crap.
Selfie mode as well,
no, I can't do that bit.
No.
Can't do that bit. I really can't do that bit. So you've worked here for what, 5 years?
Yeah, unfortunately.
How many more weeks before you leave?
Oh, well, when's payday?
Let's go and see who else does real work here. It's all right us having fun, but somebody has to do the work. And this is Mrs. Complainer. Give us a wave. Mrs. Complainer is the lady who actually makes the money come in, supposedly, but unfortunately spends it as well. She does all the admin, keeps all our licenses up to date, and generally bosses us all around. And this is our meeting area, but we don't have to use it very much because we haven't got that much staff. And you may have wondered who he is. Let's have a look through the window. This is Superman. Superman, who works on all our videos. He's our cameraman. He does an awful lot of editing, and he makes the news the way that you see it. There you go. That's Fabulous 103, such as we are. Tiny now, but at least you know how a radio station works. Oh, God, Steve. This is why people never tune in. People never tune in. I'm telling you. We're live now. We're live now. You realise that, don't you? That's telling us that the song is to be finished, which means it's time for us to talk in a minute.
No.
It's got vodka in it. Be honest. Well, we're back in the studio again. You've just seen the midget was in the studio with me. You can see how it works. You've seen everything the way our studio works. Now, we started off with 4 knackered old second-hand computers 12 years ago when we started Fabulous 103. So I think we've come a long way. Every time we draw money in from advertising, which is our revenue, we put it back into the studio and into making our product the very best. And thanks to this equipment that you've seen today, we reach further than anybody else. We have better sound quality, as long as it's not done on the mobile phone. And we get to reach more people. Thank you for joining me. See you soon. And don't forget, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. All you have to do is click the button, subscribe, and that means that every time we come out with news or an interview or some crap like this, you get a notification and you can come and join us. Have a great day.